Today we have a draping session and I'm going to show the hobble dress, which is basically inspired by the silhouette of Edwardian era, the beginning of 19th century. And this dress has a certain features, and basically it was given the birth of well-known pencil skirt. You may look at the history of pencil skirt, so you can read about hobble skirt as well. So the main feature of this skirt, and why it is called hobble, because the hem was so narrow that the woman would step in this dress, would walk in this dress by very small steps. So she has to control herself so that she is not falling, right? So so then you imagine the silhouette is a dress with quite fitted hips. However, can be also the cowl skirt as well, so with some extension on the upper part of the hips, just below the waist, and then going very narrow to the hemline. We are going to make a hobble dress, which means the dress I'm going to show is the basically high-waisted, a dress with high-waisted skirt. So, and as we don't want the woman to experience this awkward situation, they're making the small steps because we are living in different century, so I'm going to use pleats so that it makes it possible and it makes it working very well. So, and let's start. So I have a piece of fabric. It will be a long dress. Basically you can create gown, you can create shorter version for the other type of dresses. I'm showing you the long version and a kind of couture style, nice pleated dress. So as I said, I'm going to use pleats so that the dress will accommodate very well the steps that woman is taking, right, when she's walking. So I give you the measurement of this piece. You see the piece is quite long, so we have to make it to the floor, right? So, and we start draping from the center front. So I'm aligning. I don't have any guidelines here, right, as usual, so I don't like to have it, but as I said, during all my working I'm constantly watching the grain line, and grain line in this situation will be also very important for you to understand how it's all working. So let's start. So I have a selvage. I keep the selvage here. It's not given any weird shape of the edge. It's actually straight, so I'm using the selvage. However, normally we have to cut away the selvage. So this selvage just give me the direction and good location of the center front, so I can use it to pin exactly on the center front. So this is what I've done. So now I don't really have idea of the neckline, right? So you can figure out later. You can even create a dress with the collar together with the dress. So I have one version, I tried it already. So now I'm showing the more simple one with open neck. Eventually, because I don't have the shoulder, as you see, so you can use, later you can use straps here, shoulder straps, or you know, you have to use a bust here underneath, so a special foundation. So, and let's start working. So now I'm going to create the pleats. And the pleats, what's important to understand here, the pleats will be quite big. So you see I'm using the half scale mannequin. So, and even with this mannequin, you see the pleats I'm doing. So my pleat here is in this scale 4 centimeters intake, which means 8 centimeters in full scale. Something like that. So this is the first pleat. So I'm going to use pins to add them up the bust and down the bust here. So also you can use pins on the hip line, so fixed. So the pleat that I am creating now will provide the shape for the bust, and also, and this is a trick, so and also it provides the shape for the whole silhouette. So I'm continuing the pleats. So this is another one, and what I'm going now, I will reshape the pleat so it has bigger intake on top, smaller here, and I will fix it down here under the bust. So let's continue. So the idea is to shape the bust first, right? So now we have 3 pleats, and we haven't even come to the apex point yet. So we continue. So now I'm creating, we are coming closer to the bust, to the apex point. I still keep approximately the same amount for the pleat intake. So now on the apex point, so far I will pin the pleats on the hips as well. So coming to the apex point, so bigger here. So make sure that you have good drape over the bust. And I think the last one we make. Okay, so this was easy, simple, right? So now I'm going to create a silhouette. So we work on the side now. So, and what I'm going to do, so I am pushing the fabric up so that you can clearly see. I will open these pleats now. You can clearly see the pleats are opening, right? You see the pleats start getting opened when I push the fabric up. So, and here I must say that the way the silhouette is basically depending on how you place the fabric in this situation, right? So you can put it more up, and you see the pleats are opening. So this part we will make later. So now we just watch the pleats, right? The behavior of the pleats, and these pleats will create a nice curvy silhouette on the side. So the dress will not have side seam. However, you can also add the side seam. This depends on some factors and maybe some fabric. So maybe it's better to have a side seam. And the side seam will be then in the different position than the basic normal one. More placed on the back, yes, closer to the center back. So let me finish now. So you know, you can also add some additional. You see now you see the corner of the fabric is here, right? Where we start is this one here, the level, right? So I'm deciding to open to have this kind of silhouette. So I place the fabric this way now. So, and you can even add one more pleat that provide the shape for the bust. So, for example, the last one. So, and now we have to slash the fabric. Right. So in this part you can do any neckline, so depending on your liking, right? And now we are going to just create silhouette, so we do it later. Here I will do, you see where I am going now, I go down to basically create a dot. So just instead of just creating the dot, I will cut further. So let's see what we have now. Just quickly place the pin at the back, and then we'll shape the way I want. So I open the dart again, you know, to actually finish the front and make it more clear, nicely shaped. So, and then here, I just show, I will turn it. why open the dart. So basically what I want to show you, so you see on this side the pleats are tending towards here, right? They are not vertical anymore, and I want to actually also make the dart follow in this direction. One dart is not enough, you can also think of having another one. And the back will be opened. So now I just want you to see the silhouette. I made it a little bit from far away to see the silhouette here, right? So I haven't finished the darts at the back yet, so I just need to fix them. So first, look at what you created, right? Look at how the pleats are working. So, and you see what I'm doing here again. Just want to make sure that you understand. You see when I'm pushing the fabric up, right? The silhouette changes. Yes? This point, for example, comes more up, right? Now the silhouette is different, so you can explore. So and understand what you want to achieve here, right? So I want to make the final steps here. Of course, on the big scale, it's much easier to work. And also this project requires good tailoring skills as well, right? Because the darts, you see the dart, the angle. So I make the back opened. So, and the center back also needs shaping. So here you have to have enough pins to drape the back. So for the hip line, in the hip line the seam is vertical. So now you have to just complete your darts, right? Basically it's much easier for me to deepen the darts, the pins into the dress form rather than like this, right? Rather than making it properly with the dart. So this is the silhouette which is created by pleats, right? And you still can look at what you have done here, right? Because now you can improve your pleats, right? Make them nicer, make sure the silhouette is well shaped. Right, and then you create the neckline, do the marking, right? The darts, the center back seam, right? Based on the pins, right? You are doing the marking on the fabric. Right, and of course the pleats, right here and here you have to mark the intake of the pleat, yes, from both sides, right? The hemline, from the floor up, you go around the dress form and measure the same distance to make the hemline. So I marked the hemline, I cut away some parts, so defining the length of the dress, and then I cut away the fabric from the center back here, right? So our center back seam is now clear, and you will mark it. So I mark it a little bit here, so the darts will be marked, right? And now we have some ideas. So what we can do here to. And what I would do basically in this situation, because the last pleat here is just facing the bust, yes, it comes as a dart basically in the end here. So, and I want to completely, and it's kind of odd element, so I will completely remove it. So what I'm going to do, so I'm combining here all this excess in the last one, in the previous one. Or even in two, so you can still spread, you can still improve your pleats here. Now I move it into one, so all of them must be also moved somehow. You see, this is how we put the last one. I'll show you closer, right? Combining two in one. So, and what you can do actually here, so how we fix our pleats under the bust, up the bust, right? It's actually up to you. What will be your priority? So either you place the tape underneath, right, to fix it on the tape, or you can do it with a belt, for example, and create a style line, for example, right, a belt with a certain shape. you continue. So it's could be just a simple belt, or could be this shape, right? It will be fixed on the belt with a belt here, right? And then, so I can remove this now, right? And also even here, so you may decide what you want to do with the neckline. You will have it so you will have it stopped here, right, to create a neckline. So you may have also, once you, this part is finished, so you can also play with the pleats, right, so combine them all together, closer, right, closer, move them to the center, right, so your style line will be changed here, right, so, and you might have a halter neck, right, you may have a halter neck, yeah, something like that, right, and you may have a stand collar with a ruffle or whatever, right, so you still can decide what you want to do here, but basically the dress, the shape is achieved, the silhouette is, right, is achieved, and this is what I was focusing on, the silhouette, the shape of the hobble dress, right? So, and this is what I want to say here. So I said in the beginning that this dress is a modern version of the hobble dress because it allows people to walk freely, right? Because we have this pleat, yes, this is symmetrical design, so you will have the same the symmetry, so you will have the similar shape on the other side, and you have these two pleats in the front, which will allow people to walk freely, right, in this dress, right? Despite that the shape still is very obvious, right, kind of cocoonish shape with very narrow hem, right? So this is another version, so this is just advised what you can also here, right? You can add shoulder straps, right? You can fix these pleats on the tape behind, right? You have this nice element, you can spread them, open a little bit these pleats, fix the pleats below and keep this part folded and have a nice finish in here, right? So this is another version. So you see how many designs you can do with only one idea, with one silhouette. Enormous, actually, a lot of varieties. So basically that's it. So this is what I wanted to share with you.